Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me just mute this tab so I can hear all your wonderful voices. Welcome. We are off. Hang on one second.
Where is it?
There we go. There's like, our beautiful faces.
This is a unique experience.
How is everybody?
So
too personal a question. I will pass.
Oh, great.
Oh my god.
A non-personal question for Steve. Toilet paper roll over or under?
Over.
Well, I do have a firm opinion about that, even though sure it's just as personal as how are you. But essentially,
fine. No, non-personal.
Marketing forces deliberately started to implant the idea of over because people use more and are more wasteful when it's over, and it's measurably very significant difference. And so, all the companies that make toilet paper wanted us to think over was the way to go.
It's the way to go.
So I'm now against that, and so I go under.
That is
the anti-capitalist in me wants to switch to under, but I do prefer tearing it over. So
yeah.
I hear you.
I have to do over because you gotta like reach in my bathroom, so it's just like how it has to be.
Otherwise, yeah.
But also, just use a specific amount of toilet paper each pull.
Honestly, that's what I do.
That's the solution is discipline. But just in case, if you didn't have it, just switch to under, and you tend to use less.
Some of us, like Nick, have bathrooms that were designed by Big TP, so we've got it.
Unfortunately,
Big TP is so powerful.
I pre-tear all my toilet paper squares and then put them in stacks behind me on the toilet.
Danny, I've been to your house.
I just have towers of toilet paper. Yeah, I just started doing this last night, Nick.
Okay, fine. All right.
With the times, Nick.
I gotta give the clean audio intro. Hello and welcome to the Professionals Dustfire Media's Scum and Villainy actual play. I am your GM Justin, and actually, as of today, it is no longer a Scum and Villainy actual play.
I guess. We're nothing. No.
Dude just mutes.
This is now toilet paper talk.
We're taking on Big TP.
Welcome to TP Talk.
We're taking on Big TP, boys.
This is the line.
Well, now the intro's ruined.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Most of it was fine.
Hey,
so
the
we're not
called The
Villainy anymore.
Those are our characters, okay? No one said anything. We're not promising anything.
I was gonna say this is actually a new podcast called Justin Sneezes the entire time. It's just an hour and a half to 2 hours of me sneezing.
Nice.
And so our banter question today is, what sort of sneezes are you looking forward to hearing today?
Just wet.
The
wettest you got.
I'm looking forward to the ones that start big and end small. Like you like really rear back and it looks like it's going to be the loudest sneeze you've ever heard. And then it just becomes like really dainty.
Yeah. I wish I had a dainty sneeze. I really do. I wish I had one, but I don't.
I really want.
I don't know.
Want you to do like
sometimes
old...
with those.
Sorry.
Sorry, Danny.
Oh no, I was gonna say I really want you to do just like a loud grandpa sneeze, or it's not even like it's like almost like the opposite of that. There's no
you just gotta like shouting,
a scream.
It's like it's barely a sneeze. You're more just like shouting.
Honestly, like there's a direct correlation between the loudness of a sneeze and whether or not that person is a father. Like I'm convinced of this.
Interesting.
Perhaps I was always meant to be a father. I sneeze very loudly.
I think I was a loud sneezer before I became a father too. I have really.
Time is not truly linear. You are always a dad if you are a dad.
That's a fair point. point. So
didn't expect that play. That was firm. I was like, yep.
That was solid.
I think based on that, that would mean Nick would be a father at some point. Then.
Yeah. We can only assume.
I guess Knox,
based on the loudness of his sneezes.
Knox is.
I also just plan on being a father at some point. Cat dad is a fun position.
Well, I'm glad you're not, kicking and screaming against the forces of destiny. That's good. On the all-important subject of TP.
Okay, back to toilet paper.
Back to what actually matters.
Even though...
Forget becoming a parent.
Right.
I just wanted to say that this feels like it's fueling more ideas for me if we ever get to do a campaign that I dream of where there's like a bunch of like future, somehow corporate influenced incarnations of like mascots and stuff that like are like big boss fights. And I would love for, like one of the minor bosses to be the Charmin Bear, but it's just like way less happy because like in this world or whatever, maybe it got acquired or, you know, lost sales or something.
Butt itches.
Just irritated cheeks driving this bear into rage. No, I was picturing it actually just using toilet paper for evil, like TPing a bunch of buildings, being a monstrosity, and then trying to smother people to death. But anyway,
he could be an underboss. He could be an underboss for a disposable paper products cartel run by the Brawny Man.
Oh, notes.
There's
it's like the Penguin from the Batman movie. I'm too frustrated with being the under guy.
That honest to God actually sounds like it could be, and I don't say this often, so this might be the only time I say that. I feel like sometimes that tongue-in-cheek goofiness fits really well with 5e.
Oh,
I feel like a lot of times the indie games sometimes they're a bit more straight-laced. Nick's
I think we gotta find the indie game.
Let's just do Pathfinder. Right. Let's just play Pathfinder.
I feel like when an indie game, I feel like I see what you're saying, Justin. I tend to agree with you. I feel like when you have like a tongue-in-cheek goofiness thing that jives well with an indie game, is because that indie game is basically based around that tongue-in-cheek thing. Entirely.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's it exactly. Like I couldn't take, like if I don't know. I just lost it.
Oh no.
Well, this is something I've been wondering is like, what TTRPGs would we play that feel truly open in terms of world building, like so open that you could do almost whatever?
Sure.
Because if we can find something like that, I would love to GM that sometime and make up all these corporate inspired bosses.
I mean, there's a ton of games where like you set up the world and the story beforehand, right? Or like
yeah, I mean, or like you have hacks, right? Like you have like I think when you talk about like Blades in the Dark or Apocalypse World spawning Forged in the Dark and powered by the Apocalypse, it's the same thing as what you have with like 5e when you're just like skinning things on top of it or whatever. Sure. Whereas like essentially, I think though, I think this goes to Justin's point, is if you take that like concept, you have this unique concept and you want to like skin Blades in the Dark with that concept so that you can play that concept, you've just made a new Forged in the Dark game.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Like for instance, this is a game on my mental shortlist for next season, but Fellowship 2E. It's PBTA. They have playbooks, but the playbook is like the elf. And if you choose that playbook, anytime a question comes up of like, what is elf culture like? Like, where do they live? What do they do? I turn to you as the player that is playing the elf and say, you tell me. What are elves like? You are representative of the elves for us as a table and for characters. So like that's sort of a thing where like
that's pretty cool.
There isn't predetermined elf lore. It's all come up with on the spot or by the player, which I think is fun.
That's a super interesting approach to the whole concept of like fantasy, like ancestries and stuff, because there was a complaint on the Pathfinder Reddit recently about how people who take non-human races tend to just play them straight as like humans.
Yep.
That just also have fun abilities on the side.
Yep.
And I am not used to that at our table, but it sounds like a pretty prevalent problem because a lot of people are like, yeah, no, this is super annoying.
Purely for the stats, they'll take less.
Yeah, it's purely for the stats, or like they'll do like one stereotypical thing, like the dwarves will have a Scottish accent or a bad one.
Yeah, right.
and you know, that's it. Like they just don't go any further with it. And yeah, I don't know. I've always seen those as like a great opportunity, but maybe like when they're pre-written, to like flesh out your character. But like I guess maybe in a way where you aren't supposing all of that.
Yeah, this goes into the.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Justin.
I was just gonna say I think less people that are playing D20 games are asking the question, like, what has happened in my character's past, right? Like, what has being a dwarf meant for them growing up? They're just like, I want to smash skeletons.
I think about that every time.
I think one of the things too, and this goes into the weeds a little bit on like a semantic argument, but I think when you think about fantasy races in terms of races, I think what we like when we think about race in real life, we're talking about another human who looks different from me, and that's kind of that is like the extent of it, right? But if you reframe fantasy races as species rather than races, I think it makes it a little bit easier to kind of think of them as something else and get into that like other mindset.
Yeah, Pathfinder tries to take a step in that direction by calling them ancestries.
Yeah, I think that thing is a little easier with a sci-fi game where you're talking about something that feels a lot more other than an elf does to a human.
That's true.
Fun fact, in the Pathfinder lore, elves are aliens. It's just straight up aliens. They aren't
they're
even
from another planet. Yeah,
a completely different planet. They're not from the first world
much.
or the Feywilds.
It's a good game. It's a good game. Maybe one day we'll play Pathfinder 2e. Maybe we'll do an adventure path. That'd be fun. Nick,
I wouldn't hate playing a D20 game with you guys.
It could be fun. I think we could bring a really good spin to it and play things more story driven like we normally do, but play it within the confines of the rules. And you know me, I love rules.
Speaking of rules,
I think the segment of our audience that's itching for more combat would be really happy with a D20.
Yeah, they would. Speaking of rules, Steve, I am giving you the floor. I would love for you to grovel and beg.
Go find your ukulele. It's time for the apology.
Go find a ukulele. It's time for our apology segment. You have royally fucked up, and I would like for you to apologize to our listeners. Please.
Very well. I don't have an actual uke, so you'll just have to picture one.
Just imagine.
I have been playing the muscle with a Xeno component, and when you do that in the Scum and Villainy system, you are supposed to choose between the special abilities provided by your playbook, the muscle in this case, or replace those with Xeno abilities. And I don't actually know if you can mix and match or if you have to just go one for one. I think it's all or nothing, right, Justin?
All or nothing. It is all for nothing.
And so we have to resolve essentially how, like, what Graves will be able to do. And Justin has a great idea for that. But I apologize because I built out the Xeno abilities. Not that I've used them a ton. It's not like my character's been overpowered in a real sense, because we've been pretty cautious about that. But I've been using Unstoppable, Wrecking Crew, etc., while also being able to enter Random Rage, tolerate extreme cold, and things like that.
I find joy in making Steve apologize because he didn't need to apologize at all because it's also my fault as well. But I just found it funny to throw Steve under the bus publicly.
It is funny.
We were setting up for Songs for the Dusk, and I was reading those rules, and they have a similar like Xeno ability thing, and it says the same thing. It says if you choose this, you either have to choose the special ability from your playbook or choose these like species abilities. And I was like, I wonder if it works like that in Scum ability. So I pulled out my core rulebook and looked at it, and I'm like, it does work like that in Scum ability.
Well, you know,
completely, I missed that somehow. I'm not sure how I missed that. So I also am sorry we've been playing it wrong. My understanding, Steve, is that you have gone with the playbook special ability, the muscle special abilities, yes?
Yeah, and then we can turn the Ramden ones into something else that's fictionally appropriate or whatever.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we'll do, right? Like, I think it's totally fine to say, like, there's this alien species. This alien species has these types of abilities. Going forward, though, it'll still require an action roll, but the fact that you are that species is going to adjust the position and effect, like it normally would, narratively.
Would you be able to, moving forward with those abilities having been created, if he wanted to like take them again as like a advancement?
You know what? I'm absolutely okay with that.
That could be fun.
Yeah, I'm absolutely okay with that. I would even say maybe I'll have to think about it. my head initially just goes to an advancement to take the 3 that we made.
Mhm.
Because it's a special ability essentially. If you had gone with that ahead of time, that would have been those 3 abilities would have been your special ability. So
Sure.
yeah,
as an example, if I wanted to push myself, not in the mechanical sense, but if I wanted, Carlton to exert himself to tolerate extreme cold beyond what maybe a human could, you would just be like, what's the what do you think is the appropriate role, or skill or whatever, the action, and then I would just pick one that seems appropriate, as best as I can make an argument. And then the fact that I'm a Ramdan, you would just weigh that in the balance right now as like my effect is probably not
or your
be bottom of the barrel.
Your position is better than Gears trying to do that, for instance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're at a better starting position than Gears would be in trying to overcome that obstacle because of your natural born resistances to that temperature.
If it's like trying to survive -50 with no external whatever, any of us humans decide to try and roll on that, and there's probably no effect, even if we have good position, right?
Exactly.
But maybe Graves gets limited effect.
Yep. Exactly. Cool. Wonderful. Well, that's our episode for the day.
Good job, guys.
Goodbye.
Well done out there.
I will never get tired of that joke. I've made it so many times that it's hilarious.
That's another sign that you're a true father.
Again, I've been making these jokes for years before this.
Again, you were a father before you were a father.
It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. Thank you, Doctor.
Father is infinite.
Father is infinite. Last week on The Professionals, you all chose your job, and the job was to try and rescue Slice, Gears' cousin, before House Malcleith takes him back to the core worlds to imprison him forever. Mm-hmm. He was arrested for stealing an experimental hyperdrive blueprint that was not stolen by Slice, but was stolen by Gears himself. It's almost as if the Starsmiths Guild has started to hone into who stole that blueprint. That's
I don't know. They're shooting in the dark. They just happened to hit my cousin.
There's a part of me, as Johnny, not as Praxis, that is wondering if it's just dawning on me that what if they know that it's Gears and they arrested Slice just to smoke him out?
Oh gosh!
Don't tell that to Justin.
When did you say that out loud?
Just one second.
Why would?
Let me just update my notes.
Wonderful.
What a good strategy.
It is a good strategy.
It has already worked.
It's a very
great at thinking like an Imperial villain, because in an alternate world he is one.
Me?
Yeah.
An Imperial villain? No.
Yeah.
Another world, dude. You're fine here.
You're fine here. You're fine here, Johnny.
No, here Johnny's just a potential Imperial villain.
Yeah, it's true.
If it comes with healthcare,
he's a consultant. He's an Imperial consultant.
Yes.
Johnny will turn class traitor the moment he gets healthcare. Let's be real here.
So, the job has been chosen: rescue Slice before he gets taken to the core worlds and imprisoned forever. However, I had told you beforehand that if you decided to steal him out from the oh my god, why am I blanking on the name? Isotrope and Max Secure.
Yes.
You would be at war with them, which is not good. So you had the brilliant idea to wait for them to make the handoff to House Malcleith and try and steal it from House Malcleith, who is taking it back to the council in the core worlds. Loved that idea.
Council.
That's council. And so a plan was developed. You are going to jump over the ship at the moment they jump into hyperspace.
Such a cool plan.
Such a cool plan. And this job has taken place almost solely within hyperspace.
Because that's the coolest way to do it.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
Also, Nick, you voiced that I feel like multiple of us voiced that we really wished Havoc were here for this job, but it's almost good. It's good that he's not, because imagine how much damage would be done to the ship.
I mean, look,
here's a survivable job if Havoc is here.
We haven't gotten to the end of the job. We're still in the middle of it. I think quite a bit of damage could still be done to the ship, because I was thinking about jumping into hyperspace. Relatively easy if you know where you're going. Jumping out of hyperspace in the middle of hyperspace, that's really difficult. So I'm very interested to see what you guys do with that. Are you just gonna wait until you get to the core worlds and then hopefully just like hop back really quickly? I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, you've rescued Slice. You have deactivated the hard light and the assassin drones that were protecting him from anyone stealing him. Gears has taken Slice back to the ship. Carlton Graves went to go rescue Raxus, who was instrumental in helping stop those drones, those assassin drones, at the cost of his own consciousness. He
and a bunch of other security guards.
And a bunch of other security guards who are now dead around him. In order to give Slice and Gears the time that they need to get back to the ship, Dr. Mordecai has led a team of House Malcleath guards down a separate corridor. Is being
I have
chased
a question about that, actually.
by them. Yeah, let me get to that.
Okay.
Give him a second.
Give me a second. We end it as Carlton Graves got Praxis, looked out of the window, and saw a giant cosmic hyperspace storm barreling down on them.
I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do this. I'm going to set a very aggressive clock.
2 segments.
1 second.
It happens now.
Not quite. It's happening right now. No, it's going to be 4 segments.
Oh, good.
It's about as aggressive, I think, as I
It's
can.
a 4-segment clock, and I'm going to fill in 3 of the segments.
I'm going to fill in 8 of
What's
them,
the
actually.
difference? 1 out of 2, 3 out of 4, 2 out of 3.
I'm going to fill out...
It's still real bad.
Your voice really took out a Jerry Seinfeld.
You really
tone
did.
there.
What's the deal with that clock? Why are you making a 4-segment clock if you're filling in 2 of them?
I'm gonna have to go listen back. That's hilarious. I didn't intend that at all, and I've never watched Seinfeld. So
that tracks.
I started watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's very funny.
It is.
It's very funny. All right, friends. Cosmic hyperspace storm. 4 segments. I'm gonna mark off 1.
Cool.
I'm gonna mark off 1.
At what point in all of this process, I guess just let me know when you think that Praxis comes back to consciousness.
I'm all right with it.
Can't
Now.
you push yourself?
Okay.
Yeah, so I think maybe that's what it is that you'll still have to like push yourself, and it'll be after the job that you're like be able to like clear your stress. And does that make sense?
No.
So normally when you're done, like when you're taken out of the job, you come back with your stress cleared.
Right.
I'm saying you can come to consciousness. You have to push yourself in order to wait. How does that wait?
How would I push myself if my stress doesn't clear?
Yeah.
Oh, because normally you could be like taken out, I guess, by other things as well too, like harm, and that would be when you would push yourself too. So I think in this case you can come back. It's obviously a risk and a gamble because you could fill up your stress again and take another trauma.
Yeah.
So
okay,
cool. I'll leave that up to you. Danny, you had a question for Dr. Mordecai.
Yes, our Dr. Mordecai Nevin has a special ability called Moral Compass. When you do the right thing at cost to yourself, mark XP. Would you say that would apply there?
I will say yeah. I think so.
I will say thank you.
I think so. All right, friends, we need to jump into the action now.
Where are we starting?
Yeah, I think we should start with Graves.
Okay. And what room is this, Justin, where I've found and recovered Liko? I mean,
This is the command center.
It's going to take a while. All right. And the reason why Thorn was here is...
So I hadn't communicated it to the rest of you, but I came here to do what I did, to like kill everybody in the room and get the drone shut down.
Yep. Okay. So I've just come through and found you like on the floor unconscious in a circle, or just outside of the circle of people who shot each other, one to the right. Okay. And that's where we cut as I look out the window.
Yep.
Okay. And Justin, is this cosmic storm a phenomenon that's familiar to most people? Or is this something that like feels like I don't even know what I'm looking at? Or somewhere in between?
What do you think?
My gut says that pilots might know.
Okay.
What they're
How much
looking at.
attention does Graves pay during the hyperspace portion of any given flight?
And not only just pay attention, but like how prevalent are these types of storms? Is it something that would be passed around?
I feel like it's the type of thing you might hear about now and then in a bar, and you kind of wonder what it means, but it sounds bad, you know? Like similar, and like maybe you respect your lane or whatever if you don't know the technicalities around like how dangerous that exactly is. But
Sounds good. Sounds good. I almost like a storm for a whaling ship. Right?
yeah,
Like you don't know how bad a storm is until you're actually in it, and you can be like, oh, I'll just let you whalers deal with those storms.
yeah, I believe you when you say it was really bad.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
You all hear Graves on the comms. I think everyone has active comms still. Correct me if I'm wrong about that.
Mhm.
But you all hear Graves on the comms. There's a... He points as if someone was there to see him pointing. Of course, it's just unconscious Thorn in his arm. Big storm ahead.
What are you talking about?
We're gonna die.
I think that we cut to like Gears like carrying Slice into the ship and just getting to the cockpit, and he's, oh shit, and everybody gets to the ship immediately. And it just cuts out as he's trying to get the ship ready to go.
Okay.
On it. I start running with Praxis over my arm.
Okay.
Dr. Mordecai attempts to respond, but as soon as he activates communicator, all you hear is blaster fire and him screaming. It's just...
Oh god. Graves, get the doctor. Please.
Oh, okay. I only have one other arm.
What happened to practice?
It's all right.
He's on he's on the one arm.
Set me down. I'll go to the ship. You go help the doctor.
Ah, good. So you are gonna walk. Cool.
Yeah.
I've made my
Yeah,
decision. I feel like I'm being so nice letting you guys come back from these jobs with your stress cleared.
Is that not what the book says? If you
It's very vague. It's just you're taken out of the job and you come back of some time.
If it's out of the job, then I can stay unconscious. I thought it was the scene, but
it's not the scene. It's definitely it's not like specific, but it definitely is more than the scene for sure. Let's see if I can find the exact, because it's important.
Where did we see that rule that you can push yourself to act after you're taken out?
On page 12 under push yourself, take action when you're incapacitated.
Oh.
And incapacitated doesn't have any other special meaning, right? It's just like this.
Yeah, I mean, no, there's no like
there's a
mechanical,
fictionally appropriate way of applying.
Yeah, exactly. There's no mechanical incapacitated. It's all fictional. If you take I think like a level 3 harm would be like where we would get into that. So when you suffer trauma, you're taken out of action. You're left for dead or otherwise dropped out of the current conflict, only to come back later shaken and drained.
Okay.
That's all.
Ambiguous. Yeah.
So it is very ambiguous. Part of me sees being taken out by trauma as adding more stakes to the job. And so being able to just like come back after the end of the scene kind of lessens that a little bit, those stakes. But I also don't want to punish you for getting taken out. It was a really cool way to go out. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I think you can stay in the gray and do what makes sense to you, based on like the size, the duration of a scene.
Sure.
It makes sense to me, at least, to let Praxis limp along right now and have to stress himself again if he's going to do any actual action rolls.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll just take into effect how exhausted you are when we.
Yeah, why don't we do it like where I keep my stress full for now, but I can like move with agency. And so if I try to do anything, I'll just take another trauma automatically, probably.
Whoa, that seems like an extreme alternative.
Okay. I accept.
Johnny gets the award in Dustfire Media for being the most willing to kill all of his characters.
I love it. I love it so much.
He's won the award 3 years in a row. He's quite the champion.
Which is why you're so good at trophy.
Uncontested.
All right, third character in trophy.
You want me to play to lose? All right.
Say no more.
Say no more.
All right, character's name is they're dead. Next character.
I'm gonna introduce characters just to kill them. To introduce my actual character, who I
George R.R. Martin wishes he was me.
I made this new character. I made this new character. He actually died during his backstory, so I'm actually going to introduce the second new character instead of that first character I was telling you about.
You introduce the second character, killing the first character.
Actually, that's a pretty good backstory.
That's good. That's actually pretty good.
You know what's really funny is I've done that before.
That's a very Johnny move.
Yes.
I love it. Anyway, where are Carlton and Praxis going?
Yeah, after hearing that on the comms, heading towards Mordecai. Do I know where Mordecai is based on how we've executed things?
I mean, you just know he's running around trying to lead these guards away.
Doc, where are you?
I think I've gained some access to the ship systems at this point. Could I, from our ship, access a live readout and try to figure out where?
You can certainly try.
I also kind of have an idea of where Dr. Mordecai might be trying to lead these guards.
Okay. Why don't we see what this readout is, and then you can tell me where you are.
All right. I will do hack.
That makes sense to me.
I'm using my fine hacking ring for this. I think that just evens everything out.
So I think then it would have been no effect because they're tier 3 against a tier 1. So now we're looking at limited effect.
Okay.
And I will say it is risky still. Risky position.
Risky limited effect.
Risky business.
Whiskey business.
All right, I'm gonna trade up to desperate.
Okay.
And for
standard
effect.
Okay.
And I will spend a gambit to have 3 die.
Okay.
I really want us to make a shirt for our store that just says, in big block letters, just says Risky Standard.
There is actually already a Forged in the Dark podcast called Risky Standard.
Oh, okay.
So we cannot do that.
Never mind.
I bet you whacked it.
They're just 2 words. We could do whatever we want with 2 words on a shirt, but I understand what you're saying.
Desperate standard.
Just a 6.
Just a 6. Okay.
Well, there was some chance because the first one I rolled was a 6, so I was hoping I'd get that critical.
Gotcha. But you don't get to add a gambit. But you do it.
I do get experience.
You do get an experience. Dr. Mordecai, where are you leading these guards to?
this ship have like a garbage dump system?
Garbage chute. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure it does. I think the question is, can you find it? And I'm trying to decide if that's an action roll on your part or a fortune roll. I think it might be an action roll if you're trying to actively
Yeah.
run away and pay attention to like signs.
So, when Dr. Mordecai worked as a miner with his older brother and father,
Mhm.
there were these vehicles that were just these massive drills that they would use to tunnel, in beneath the ground
Yep.
in the desert.
Yep.
And they weren't built too differently from a ship.
Okay.
And so I'd like to use. I'm a doctor, not a miner. To push myself. Wait, I don't want to do that. I only have 2 stress left. I don't want to do that.
I turned around quickly.
Ooh, wow, I have a character sheet. Yeah, nope, I don't want to do that.
What then do you do to try and lead them and find the garbage chute?
Would study make sense?
I mean, again, your call.
It is my call. Yeah, let's. I feel like study makes sense.
Okay.
I'm trying to gather my surroundings, figure out where this would be in relative to where I am.
Sure. I take it. I think the position is desperate, but I will say that the effect is standard.
I'll allow it. Oh, I get to mark XP. Okay.
And XP.
Yes. Four.
A 4. Perfect. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to, let's see, you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer severe harm or a serious complication occurs. I'm going to mark 2 on the cosmic hyperspace storm clock.
Mm-hmm.
But you see the signs towards the garbage compactor that shoots garbage into space and lead. I think I don't remember how many I said, probably like a half dozen or so guards that are firing at you. You lead them to this garbage compactor. What do you do?
Yeah, so I like to imagine that like this entire room is somewhat of an airlock, and that's how, I want to try to lead them in there while running and just go and turn around and flip out and close the door behind me.
Okay. So you are trying to Looney Tunes style run into this room and then get out of it before they follow you out.
How feasible does that seem?
I mean, I'm going to say this sounds to like, if you want to do it, that's fine. You tell me what action you use to do it, and I'm going to set the position. So ultimately, you tell me how feasible that seems.
As I was saying it, it sounded a lot better when it wasn't spoken out loud, Justin, is what I'm trying to say. This does lead outside. And I could have a spacesuit. All right. All right. Instead, I'm going to talk on my communicator and just yell, meet me by the garbage chute. As I'm running, start to put on my spacesuit.
Okay. I would like for you to. I think you're gonna mark off that load first off.
Mm.
And I do feel like it might be an action to get on a spacesuit while you're running, unless you already had it on. I'm all right with you saying you already had it on.
I think
a safety measure.
Had it on, right?
Yeah, you're right. I'm all right with that. Yeah, that makes sense to me. You probably already had it on. So just mark it off of your load. What do you do?
So I tell Gears.
Yep.
To he's already in the ship, so just meet me in the garbage chute.
Okay. I would say Carlton and Praxis hear this as well too.
Yeah, because it's on our open line.
I mean, this is the answer to my question, right?
Yeah.
I asked, where are you?
We finally
we
circle back.
I
got there.
Because I figure it's probably a safer path for Carlton to get to the ship rather than find Dr. Mordecai.
For sure.
So I'm just gonna garbage shoot
was a
myself
long route
out of
for
the
a
ship's
short
butthole.
Real quick, Doctor. Do you happen to be wearing armor?
Yes, I'm gonna mark that off.
You'll be fine.
I mean, you
Nothing to worry about then.
You could not mark it off and then mark it off if it becomes relevant. But
Okay.
You're not just shooting out into space, buddy. You're shooting out into hyperspace. So if I don't catch you, you don't. There's nothing to
Just
save
get
you.
behind
Your
the
body will
ship.
be ripped to pieces.
this is wild. All right.
Also, does this depend on the garbage chute just opening and releasing its trash somehow, not compacting everything first?
Right.
There's
More likely it goes to some sort of compactor.
There's a few things that we're gonna have to work through.
This is a great plan. Okay.
It's great. I love it. I love it so much.
Could have just opened up
Big
an
moves.
airlock.
I think we all have
Big
very
moves.
different definitions of great here.
It's wonderful. It is
Worst
wonderful.
possible plan.
Going for impact, baby.
This isn't my only character, you know.
I think the only way this plan could be worse is if Mordecai just turned around, spread his arms out, and said, "Okay, I'm done."
Hey, look, I think Danny is
give
leaning
up.
into playing the
No, I get
character
it.
like
I
a
get it.
stolen car. I love it.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's very
not-
fun.
I don't have to think it's a good idea to love it, Justin.
That's
It's
a good
true.
point. It's a bad idea, and I love it.
That's where I'm at. That's what I mean by great.
I think here's what it is. First off, I'd like to know, Carlton, Praxis, do you make your way back to the ship knowing this information?
I had stated Praxis was heading back to the ship. I don't think I've changed that.
Okay.
As long as it's clarified, because on the radio I asked, "Where are you?" after being told that maybe I should go get him, and then he said, "Meet me at the garbage chute," but he was just talking to Gears. So as long as you think Graves understands that he's not supposed to meet you at the garbage chute, I'm good.
I don't think it is interesting to be like, roll something to figure out if you can ascertain what Dr. Mordecai was saying. It's dumb.
Though I will say, to be fair, based on how you have played the character up until this point, if Mordecai did not say, "Gears, meet me at the garbage chute," Graves would not interpret that as being directed at Gears.
That's why I'm asking the characters. We've had a bunch of mechanical stuff interrupt the
Sure.
fiction, so feel free to
Why
clarify
don't we
what
just-
you want to say to Graves.
I mean, I think he has said his thing. What do you do? You're in the middle of a very tense situation. You, as a character, do not have time to be like, "What do you need me to do?" So what do you do? What do you choose?
I
Does
understand the
Gears say
instinct,
anything?
but I do think this was like a 15-minute-ish meandering conversation about multiple layers of stuff that would have that just totally interrupted the fiction. And so it's not even plausible to me that the conversation happened as it did. So that's why I'm just asking for the characters to reground themselves in the fiction.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Danny was thinking about totally different things when he decided what to say to Gears. It wasn't even in any real sense reacting to the moment that Graves said anything.
Sure. So that's fine. You hear in the midst of this, you hear Graves say, "Where are you?"
Danny.
Oh, me? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, you.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And Dr.
That's why
Mordecai
I'm trying to
says-
get him back into the fiction.
Yeah. Dr. Mordecai says, whoever's in the ship, meet me at the garbage chute.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Graves, get to the ship. We need to go pick up this idiot.
So me and Thorn are moving as quickly as we can through the halls, and you hear me say to you, Gears, through the chute. I'm getting to the ship through the chute.
No. Just get to the ship.
Damn it. Okay. And like Praxis is like limping along a little too slowly for his taste, and so occasionally he just picks you up and then puts you down a few feet further ahead, Johnny.
Yes, very good. Let's go.
I think you guys get to the ship fine. I'm gonna just turn the spotlight to Dr. Mordecai now, because you get to the garbage. You get to this garbage compactor, and I'm assuming you run in, and I'm fine with you closing the door.
No, I think I run in, I turn around, and I hover my hand over, like, let's say there's a big red button.
Of course.
Activates it. And I was like, I swear I'll fucking do it.
Oh, okay. So you're trying to get them to like stop and not fire at you?
Yeah. Because I'm trying to buy time. Because you're not. I'm not.
I understand.
If I do it now,
I understand.
then I'm just.
I'm gonna roll a fortune die because it sounds like partly dependent on your plan is that they are in this room with you and they just did not stop at the door that closes off the garbage compactor.
Which also honestly would
space.
be fine. You know, you don't have to take them with you.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm wondering.
That's not my goal. It's not my goal to take them with me. It's my goal to just I need to wait until the Montressor is in place.
Sure. The timing of it is, I'm not gonna like nickel and dime you on the timing of it.
Okay.
I want to know, do you run into the garbage chute and close it so that way you are inside and they are outside?
Yeah, I mean, if they won't follow me in, then yeah, I'll just close
They do not, because they know exactly what this is. They're not going to follow you in.
Okay,
they stand outside of the door and just point their guns at you. And then you like hit the button and the door starts to like beep and close slowly.
Heck yeah.
I would like to know what happens in this chute to Dr. Mordecai, because as the door closes, Dr. Mordecai, you see the walls start to like push in from the left and the right, as well as from the roof to like compact the garbage into a cube.
This is familiar.
Mordecai, you gotta get to the console near the exterior wall door. You need to rip it open. You need to cross this line. You need to connect this. You put your personal computer connected with this, and just starts walking them through to cancel out the compaction and just open the door.
Okay,
sounds like a setup.
Yeah,
it could be a setup. It sounds a bit more like an assist to me.
I am just trying to assist.
Like an assist?
It sounds a bit more like an assist to me.
Which means I spend the day.
Setup is when you are indirectly doing something that has a direct impact on an action.
Right. No, but assist I spend.
But in this exact yes. Yeah.
Okay. So considering that it's not Mordecai using his hacking skills, he's purely following the precise directions of Gears, I feel like study.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I can see that.
I just love how kind Justin's voice sounded there. Oh, okay.
Well, that's what you're thinking. Okay.
I didn't expect it, and I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's a really great example of when you can use any action to do something. I think Danny's saying that really sets it up in a good way to be like, it's not hacking. You're just listening and trying to recall what you do know about hacking and following Gears instructions. I like.
I'm just saying, it really works. It looks good on you, Justin. I feel so at ease right now. I feel like you just called me with great effect.
Great.
So.
That's what I'm trying to do.
A desperate action had great effect.
I think
I felt like I had that like you're so brave to get that haircut vibes.
Oh, that's a choice.
Oh, bless your heart.
I don't want to be a mean girl. I think we're looking at a risky position, and I think we're looking at a limited effect because of the difference in tier.
Oh, I don't want
And you
this
get
to
an
happen
extra
to
die
me.
from me.
And you get an extra
Yeah.
die from Gears.
I don't want this to happen to me, but I also don't know if I want to turn this into a desperate situation, a desperate action. But
High risk, high reward, baby.
I will.
Okay,
Desperate standard, baby.
desperate standard. So you were trying to listen intently as Gears tries to lay out exactly what to do, and you were obviously, I'm imagining Gears speaking incredibly fast, and you just like the desperate is like trying to keep up with him as he's trying to do this, as these walls are slowly closing in on you.
Yeah, and Gears is reading all of this off as he's trying to put the ship in position. So we've come off the top, still in like a hyperspace like lane, and then are just kind of trying to get in position behind the
there is going to be a piloting role coming up, because piloting in hyperspace is going to be hella difficult.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, I'm rolling 3 dice. Desperate standard. Is anything else to do?
Devil's bargain.
What to do?
Oh, there are those.
There are devil's bargains.
I want to hear
Do
a
I
devil's
have
bargain.
a devil's bargain for you?
You could ask for a devil's bargain. I don't have a devil's bargain.
I don't have a devil's bargain. No, I think the devil's bargain is that this all gets a little too close for comfort, and it is like you'll get it, right? So if you roll, enough to like do the thing, it'll stop the compression and open the thing. It's compressed enough now that your arm is gonna break.
I'm a doctor.
Okay.
Spoken like a true medical professional. Oh, I'll break a limb because I can just heal it afterwards.
Love that.
It's not like I use my arms for that. We're being a doctor, right?
Yeah.
You just switch roles afterward and coach Gears through repairing your arm.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how you put on a splint.
I'm just thinking about like every other character's like version of what just happened. like all right, if you do this, Havoc's gonna fall off a cliff. Sorry, I'm a pilot.
Yeah. That'll be fine.
It's all right.
All right, my friend, you may have an extra die. You're gonna take a level 2 harm after this.
All right, that's fine. Let me find a die. Here we go. That's a pretty one. All right, four dice.
It's pretty good.
One of those is a 6.
Hey, look at that.
That's what we needed.
So you can feel these walls and the ceiling like continuing to push on you. It is getting very uncomfortable. Your arms are like basically like up against your chest as you're trying to like type and finish hacking.
Like an involuntary fetal position.
Exactly. And you can feel it continuing to push against your arm, and you can hear the bone snap just as you get the last command into this console, and the walls recede back into the walls and the ceiling, and the door opens, and you get sucked out into hyperspace as a cosmic storm is right at your doorstep.
All right.
I would like for you to take the level 2 harm broken arm.
Yeah, I put arms a broke.
Arms a broke.
And now do I do my helm roll now?
I think we have to go to Gears if you are piloting this to try and pick up.
Okay. Roll to catch.
Roll to catch. What helm you said?
Yep.
I mean, if this isn't a desperate action.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know what is a desperate action.
Mordecai's dead arm is just flailing behind him.
but I think it's a standard effect.
Okay.
Oh, there's sneeze 1.
I hope nobody minds if I take the last gambit.
If you didn't, I'd be upset.
Yeah, gamble away.
I'm taking that gambit. Oh Jesus. What am I doing? Gambit, standard effects. I don't think I have anything else.
I mean, Devil's Bargain.
Praxis can't help you here.
It might be
Devil's
the time.
Bargain?
I mean, the Devil's Bargain is that the Cosmic Hyper. You'll get him, but the Cosmic Hyperstorm will be here.
Can I resist?
I guess
no, you can't. It was what you gonna say, John?
I could help you, but I'd have to take another trauma.
No, you're good. You're fine. I got this, guys. I got 3 dice. We got standard effect.
Take the Devil's Bargain. Take it. Come on.
But then I'm gonna just have to roll more.
I know. That's the whole point of the game, Nick.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. Look, what if 3 dice was a fail and you lose Dr. Mordecai to hyperspace forever? This way you get him.
Well, 2 dice were a fail, but one was a 5, one was a 6. So we'll take that 6.
Oh, why would
Maybe it was that 6 was that
Let's
Devil's
go.
Bargain.
Maybe.
just say you got a 6?
I rolled them
next
all
time,
together.
man?
Next time I'll roll them separately so we can see for sure.
So we can see. That's fun. Dr. Mordecai, have you ever been in space before?
Well, yeah.
Sure. Okay.
He's from he's from another planet. So yeah.
Well, I meant like not in a ship, but like, have you been in the vacuum of space?
Oh. I don't. Maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know what normal space feels like, but when that door opens, it is as though somebody is trying to rip every part of you in every single direction. And thankfully, that feeling lasts for a moment as you feel yourself now come to consciousness inside of the Montressor.
Let's go.
Oh.
Call that a win.
Any longer out there, and you would have been irrevocably damaged in some way. So it is a miracle that
Doctor,
Gears
you
caught
alive? Did I catch you? I think he's dead.
For a moment, he's just laying there, and then he just starts.
Oh.
He's holding his arm.
Ah, he's doing better than I thought. All right. All right,
have
now
but
I
a moment. You have but a moment to have this conversation before the ship starts shaking wilder than it ever has before, to the point where it is incredibly difficult to even like grab the controls and move it.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to go back into our dark hyperspace lanes from the lane that we are in to avoid this storm.
I love it. I love it so much. What action do you think you're using? Sounds right.
Couldn't have sounded more discouraged in saying it. I guess
He really
I'm
wishes he could
helming.
roll hack. He really wants to somehow roll hack, but he knows that.
No, I need rig. So that's the
Oh.
best chance I got here.
I mean, this sounds desperate,
Yeah, it does.
and I'm trying to figure out this. I like the dark hyperspace lanes, and I imagined too. I was like, they're probably gonna pull this out to get out of this. So I think because you have it, it's limited effect.
Okay.
You know what? No, we'll say standard effect. We'll say
I'll take
standard
it.
effect.
I'll take whatever you will give me. I'll
We'll say
take
standard
it.
effect.
Yeah, we're out of gambit, so it's just 2 dice.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
It's okay. Take your time. Don't fuck up.
Trying not to.
Control probability and make sure this is good.
I'm nervous.
We're 6 out of 5. I'm fine.
Whoa.
Dude, we're fine. Everything's fine. What are you talking about? Dude, we're totally fine.
I now have this entirely alternate universe where you roll the 1 to 3 as your highest, and the ship gets like ripped in half, trying to escape hyperspace.
That would have not been good.
It would have not been good at all.
I do like the insinuation of a complication though, because we could just end up anywhere.
For sure, right?
Yeah,
you're not quite sure where. You probably don't even have time to like calculate where you're going. You're just like, there's a lane right here. We're jumping right now. And you do it. I think you all feel the Montressor groaning, heaving. It feels as though any second now the ship is just going to explode into a million pieces.
Pray to whoever will listen. And I just whip the console just in the other direction and just fire off.
It's difficult too, because like you can't even like grasp it really, and like despite the intense pressure and zero and gravity and force and being exerted on the ship right now, you still somehow are able to turn the wheel just enough to slip into this dark hyperspace lane.
Yeah, I think it's not even just gravity. We're ripping space.
Mm-hmm.
And we're pushing the whatever is keeping our space normal to its absolute limit, so just we can feel like the space itself stretching and like shifting, and
it's like when you put a bag of holding inside of a bag of holding.
Oh yeah,
you're like doing that already within hyperspace. I think too, like you guys, the ship like spins and hurtles. Like you don't have control over it in this jump. You just feel the ship like spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, and then you jump out of hyperspace. Where are you?
I don't know. Where am I? Should I roll to find out?
I think
we're in Connecticut.
Can we somehow just be at the Hantu gate?
I was gonna say, like, we were on our way to the core worlds, right?
Yeah.
So, like, are we in the core worlds? Are we still in the Procyon sector? Like,
I think you're back in the Procyon sector. I don't think you're in the core worlds.
Should I check the charts?
I'm gonna. How about this? I'm gonna roll.
Consult the chart.
Oh.
Consult the dice.
On a 1 to a 6, we're somewhere good.
Anything else? We're in the.
Anything else? It's Connecticut.
I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna roll a few dice, and we'll just we'll see where you end up.
Alrighty.
I'm also gonna roll a few dice. Just
Okay, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I
Let's
mean,
roll
if
some
we're all
dice.
doing it, I'll do it too.
Yeah, everybody roll some
Yeah.
dice. Everybody.
All right. Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I just rolled 3 6s.
Great.
Save
Wonderful.
those, Danny.
Johnny,
Save
Johnny,
those.
yeah, bank
I
those.
like-
Just put them in a
I like
bank.
the
Use them
bank.
later.
I rolled 1 6. and,
Okay,
like,
great.
7
4 6s
ones.
so far.
I rolled nothing.
No 6s. Okay, that's fine.
1-6 from me.
1 6, 5 6s. Great. Unfortunately, the more 6s you got, the more torn apart your ship is.
Oh god.
Your ship comes out of hyperspace, spinning. You're struggling to maintain control of it, and you find yourself hurtling down onto a planet. It is rich with flora and plant life. You see like these floating platforms, basically like just above tree line, of these like massive jungle trees. And Gears, even despite like what is going on, you kind of like look out of your window for a moment, and you're pretty sure that this is Amarith that you're landing on.
Oh no.
And so your ship is spinning. You are like barely getting control over it, and you get control over it just in time for you to sort of make a landing. You rolled a 6, so I'm not gonna damage your ship. But you are on Amarith.
So yeah, everything sort of settles after the hard landing.
Mm-hmm.
You may now freely move about the cabin. Just holding on to. Yours just continues to hold on to the controls. Everybody alive?
Yep.
Or at least close enough.
Good.
At this point, Dr.
Warren,
Mordecai's loading his arm up with I don't know, numbing.
Jelly beans.
Well, jelly beans. You know what doctors use. Lollipops and jelly beans.
You know they
We're
do.
still on the border on if Dr. Mordecai is in fact a doctor, so I believe the
Just
I'd believe
stuffing
the
jelly
beans.
beans into his broken arm.
Oh gosh.
Into the open wound.
You know, I've heard that you could put sugar into a wound, but I don't think that's what they meant.
The sweeter the wound, the faster it heals.
Friends, your ship is not damaged. You have rescued Slice. You have landed back in the Procyon sector. I think that's a successful job.
I think we call that a win.
I think that's a win.
We didn't get anybody from this. All
Number
right,
two.
well, there you go, cuz you're safe and sound. Still just white knuckled onto the controls.
He's unconscious as well too. He hasn't woken up yet.
Yeah, no, you just talk to him anyways. Yeah. I guess eventually we'll fly off and try to fly to Junkyard.
You can. May I make a suggestion? Not a suggestion, but maybe I'll read this and then y'all can decide what you want to do. But on Amarith, while it's ruined and unsanctified, the mendicants keep their temple and their mystics tend to any and all that request aid. Take +1 dice when you recover in their care.
Oh, all right.
If that changes your plans at all.
Hey, I heard there were some, helpful monks or something on Amarith somewhere. You guys,
Yes, mendicant.
yeah, we could. I'm sure several of us could use medical attention.
Mordecai and Slice, not the least of all.
Yeah. All right. I'll take us over there. Still does not let go of the controls. Goes.
How
Takes
much
us up
dice
a
would we
little
be
bit.
rolling with?
What?
Because it'd be crew quality plus the one from the planet.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Hey, it doesn't hurt. We'll take it.
Hey, right?
So yeah, I'll take us over there, and I guess we'll be spending downtime on Amarith, just with these monks.
Whew.
And again, it can definitely be. Maybe it's the thing where, like, if there's something you want to do on Amarith, you can do it. And then if somebody is like, well, I want to get back to Warren or somewhere else, you can do
Yeah.
that as well.
All right, sounds
So-
good. We do have wanted level 1 here, so everyone knows.
Yeah.
We are
Is
in-
that planet specific or is that this whole system?
No, it's this whole system.
It's
Right.
the system. I'm going to consider that this job took place in Rin, where you also have a wanted level, so it doesn't totally matter. But
Right.
it's just that you landed here.
It's good for keeping track.
Yep.
Noise.
All right, friends. Yeah. Payoff. I don't think you did anything that might be able to land you some cred in some way. So I think there's no payoff on this one other than the preservation of family, which is the greatest payoff.
Not the havoc, but sure. To those of us in this crew, maybe.
Years is happy.
Maxis's new trauma, not to him either.
That's a good point. Upkeep. Do you want to do the upkeep? Do you not want to do the upkeep? What would you like to do? I think, did you skip it last time?
Yeah, we did skip it last time.
Okay.
I will skip again.
Okay.
He's down giving.
So
Rescue
now I have to roll
goodness.
twice.
Twice. 2 dice. Yep.
2 dice.
Or
And
not dice.
I just need to roll 2 times below a 3. Okay, I did roll a 5, so I damaged the system.
Okay. Well, it's you don't damage it. It's just a system malfunctions, but it's minor.
Mm.
So to get around it, you just have to rig, essentially.
Oh. Since I have the jury rig thing, can I just do that automatically?
Let's find out.
Because I get an extra downtime activity to repair.
Yeah, I think it's probably. Let's see. When does that get healed, though? That's, I guess, the question. I think maybe here is what it is. It's maybe like a minor, like long-term project to fix it. Probably not a long one, but it's not something you have to like repair. But it is something you might have to like fiddle around with, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I think what it is that the environmental shield around the hull is like flickering in and out. All right, friends. Heat. Completely quiet. Others are blamed. Smooth and quiet. Low exposure. I think I'm gonna say 1 heat. I think that was pretty smooth and quiet. I don't know if you have completely gotten rid of any exposure, but I do think that was overall pretty quiet mission.
Yeah.
How's that strike you all?
Strikes me just good.
Okay.
I'm struck.
I like opening the floor. Sometimes y'all
Struck in the best way
have
possible.
thoughts and arguments about why it should be higher or lower. But I think one fits this. High profile or well connected targets. I might say that an official like prison ship for a enemy of the hegemony is a pretty high profile target.
Yeah, that's that's fair, I guess.
Sounds fair. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, especially since it's even if you could argue not high profile, definitely well connected.
For sure. So definitely an extra heat for that. I am gonna also give the 2 heat for killing hegemonic citizens, because not only did Praxis kill all those people, but
I didn't kill
obviously. Okay, well, they're dead
Killed
bodies.
themselves.
Whether the crew did the killing or not, bodies.
Do they not
dropped.
have security cameras? They'll see them shoot each other.
You're right. Good point. Never mind.
They review the footage and they're like, "This checks out. That guy was just he just happened to be the wrong place, wrong time."
I fainted from my shock and horror.
Oh Lord! Even if not, there was no one to pilot the ship as the cosmic hyperstorm surrounded it. We do not see this because you guys escaped, but that ship was ripped to pieces in the middle of hyperspace. So massive property damage would fit as well there too. So I think we're looking at 4 heat. We're looking at 4 heat in Rin.
I'm glad we didn't damage the hyperspace lane that we were in, because
Is that? I already see that you have 4 heat. Was that just add it now?
No.
So we have a second wanted level in Rin.
Fun.
Hey, what would we be doing if things weren't cooking? You know what I mean? Things gotta heat up.
Yeah, he's gotta heat up. Otherwise, what's the point?
I think we gotta
We need enough moolah to retire comfortably, and I'm not there. I don't know about your stash. My stash isn't there.
All right, friends. I want to roll entanglements now. I'm very excited to roll entanglements.
Oh god, yeah, sir wanted to.
I think it might be time to move our home base to Holter Breck.
I'd even consider Connecticut at this point.
Too close to real
I think,
life for me. Let's not do that here.
I think this is going to come about when you leave Amarith. I don't think it makes sense for it to happen on Amarith.
He rolled
mysterious.
So I think for now we will skip to PC and crew advancement, and then we'll jump into downtime.
Amazing.
Sounds so good.
I really don't want to forget that entanglement because it's a good one. Did you express? Should we wait? Maybe we'll wait for Nick. All right, maybe we'll just start with the specific ones. Graves, did you address a situation with threat or force?
I think I wanted to and queued up to like 3 times and then saw someone's better idea make more sense and take priority. I don't know that I actually did any.
Yeah, I don't think you did.
Throwing fists around this time.
No.
Moving stuff, heavy stuff, climbing stuff. No, I don't think so.
No, not really. Okay. Praxis, did you address a challenge with deception or influence?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I think so. Getting people to lying that you're supposed to be a part of the ship, getting them to do that thing and then shoot themselves, definitely.
Yeah.
Dr. Nevin, did you address a challenge with insight or compassion?
Would you consider what we just did a little while ago, like have Dr. Mordecai having to follow the directions of gears? Also, would you to be insight?
I will say yeah. I'll say yeah.
Cool.
I'll say yes. Welcome back. Gears, did you address a challenge with technical ingenuity or what's the other one? Skill. Technical skill or ingenuity?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All day, baby.
All of them.
All day, baby. For all of you, did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Yeah.
I mean, we did come here to save my cousin. I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Grace, why do you say yeah?
Similar sentiment. I think it's kind of like a loyalty concept at this point.
Okay, sure. Like their family is my family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
kind of a sense that we take turns helping each other. Even at great risk to ourselves.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, that definitely does seem upgrades as MO for sure. Did you struggle with issues from a vice or trauma?
Yes.
Yes, I remember you saying you did. Obsession. Obsession with the way.
I don't think that, even though I was trying to lean into my trauma, I don't think there was any sense in which it cost me anything or put me in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Like, I've been following a pretty strict order of operations in terms of like the obsession with protecting the others.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't. It just hasn't felt like it's strong enough to get a point for it, in my opinion.
I think if you had dropped off Praxis and then went to go get Dr. Mordecai, despite him saying "Don't come," that would have been. That would have been.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful. Anyone get a PC advancement?
Yeah.
Again? Wow, you just got one.
Yeah, I got one on one of my what do you call it? Attributes.
Attributes. Gotcha.
I did not. But also, really quick, I think I actually did struggle with my beliefs, traumas, or
Yeah. Vice or trauma.
Because this entire plan was unstable. This entire plan is only the product of a mind that isn't quite right. Because it was insane, and I think that's part of it.
I agree. I will let you take that XP. There would have been much safer ways to go about doing this, and Gears came up with the most batshit insane plan, gambling with their very lives.
Oh yeah.
Like that last roll, when like I'm looking at you rolling 2 dice on a desperate action, and I'm like, oh, this is really bad. You're trying to jump out of hyperspace in the middle of a jump. Like, this could go about as poorly as anything could go in science fiction.
Yeah.
Graves brings it off as like, Gears has always been so calculating, so this must make sense.
He must not be crazy.
This was insane.
He must not be crazy.
Yeah. So I filled up my resolve tracks. I'm taking a pip and a tune.
Amazing. Ooh. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Nice.
Get some of that way.
All right, let's go to crew.
I'm trying to let my traumas inform like my character like sheet decisions too.
I love it. I love it so much. Did you successfully pull off successful transport or smuggling operation?
Transport.
Or smuggling.
Yeah, depending.
Both. Yes. Yeah.
We got him out. We got the package.
Yeah, you smuggled Slice out from the hands of House Malcleave. I definitely think that tracks. Did you contend with challenges above your current station? I think not only House Malcleave, but everything that happens within cyberspace.
I don't think
anyone. Yeah, the universe itself. I don't think anyone is ready to challenge hyperspace on the level that hyperspace is. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I think this is the one case where it's not.
Did you express your goals drives?
I can see an argument for the opposite.
Unfortunately, or fortunately for you, I don't take away XP for that. So yeah. Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of your crew?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so too. What do you think that was? What do you guys think?
I think one of the for in my mind, one of the drives or essential nature pieces is this unerring loyalty to your friends and like the people that you care about. And I think I think that was expressed in just the very nature of the mission itself.
Yeah. I love it. Take that XP. Did you get a crew advancement?
No, we are 1 short.
Oh, so close.
Next time, baby.
Next time. Next job, you'll get it for sure. You are on Amarith. Does anyone want to do any downtime activities on Amarith or that are not location specific, location dependent?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
also
Praxis knows that there are powerful practitioners of the way among the mendicants, and so I want to go and find one who can train me.
Oh, okay. I love that.
It was fun.
You go to their temple here on Amarith. Like when you get out, you like fly the ship there. You're like passing by these like giant human-sized flowers, and you hear like space monkeys chattering in the background when you get out of your ship. It's like hot and humid as you walk out, and a robed figure comes out to greet you, and they pull their hood back. And it is it's like a lithe woman. She's got like the left side of her hair shaved, but then like in a ponytail. And she goes, pleasure. What can we help you with, Seekers?
Indeed, I am Praxis of House Thorn, from the Montressor. So some of our crew needs some medical assistance. I think that's important to let you know right off the bat. But I was hoping to find a practitioner of the way.
All of our disciples are familiar with the way in some way. I'm Tars Hoxton, and she puts her hand out.
I take it. It's an absolute pleasure. I was wondering, I'm looking for someone who could teach me how to commune with it more readily.
As you grab her hand and say this, despite the stature that she carries, her grip belays a strength that you would not expect from someone that tiny. And you see like little crackles of like white and yellow veins just like shooting all across her arm. I am one of the stronger mystics here. I'm always happy to teach new converts.
I don't know that I would call myself a convert just yet, but I've had some experiences that I think require me to take the way more seriously than I have.
That is always how it starts. Yes, please get settled. We have spaces to sleep if you do not want to sleep on your ship. We have healers ready. Come find me when you would like to train.
I will see you soon.
And you get settled. You find her again. She's like sitting now in it's like a balcony basically that's like overlooking the jungle. There are like pillows spread in this half semicircle, and she is sitting in the center of this half circle, and with her eyes closed. You now actually see that she has like removed the brown robe, and can see that she has 2 extra arms. She's human though. She's not a Xeno. She is a human.
Interesting.
She kind of feels your presence, and then one of the arms just like points towards one of the pillows. Please sit.
Yeah, I take a seat without saying anything.
Tell me, what is the way?
I mean, from my experience so far, it's mysterious, but it seems to be a source of power of some sort. I've heard it described as the source of life. I'll be frank with you, though. I don't know what it is. Perhaps it's the universe itself.
Praxis, would you say that you are unknowable? That your friends are unknowable?
Perhaps Graves. But no, I think the rest of my friends are quite easy to read. And I like to live life pretty openly.
There's nothing mysterious about the way. It is as knowable as I can see that you are able to read others. It is simply reading the lines of the universe that have existed before we were even alive. And perhaps we've always been alive. Perhaps the way just decides to give life to those in the moment that it needs to. Come, meditate with me.
Yes, of course. Get to know the way, right?
A smile creeps on her face. Something like that.
So do I do this eyes open, eyes closed, arms raised, settled? What do I do believe that we're supposed to be quiet during this. No, or do I make some sort of a noise? Do I
praxis? Praxis.
Yes.
What is your body telling you to do right now?
It's I
don't
do believe that
think.
Okay.
Don't think. Just. What is your body telling you to do right now? Answer.
To sit quietly.
Then the way is here.
So that's what I do then. I sit quietly.
You do what your life tells you to do in that moment. For some, they pace. For some, they sit. Sometimes you sit one day and pace the next. Sometimes you go to target practice. Sometimes you heal a wounded child. If the way is knowable, then the way is in everything. And it does not matter what you do. It only matters your intention.
So we listen to our body, what it tells us, to understand what the way wants from us. I must confess, I'm extremely curious what it would be like to be with a woman with 4 arms.
The smile gets sly. Well, perhaps my body is saying that as well.
Oh my god!
You know, I think I may like discovering the way.
Oh boy!
Oh boy! Oh!
You don't discover the way discovers you.
And I think, you know, we fade to black and pull out from the scene of the two of you getting carnal. I think there's a couple downtime actions in there if you wanted to take up.
I will take one, but not the other, because the trauma.
You come back with no stress. Yeah. That was just a funsies sex thing. That was a mechanical sex thing.
Yeah.
It's very important to have a balance. You know, you can't only have mechanical sex.
It can't all be business. You know?
Yeah, it's got to be for fun. For funsies. That's what you say, right? That's what you describe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm assuming you're marking that in resolve. Is that what it tunes under? Yeah, cool. All right. Anyone else?
Working on a clock. Long-term project. Let's go.
What are you doing?
I'm going to modify our hyperdrive with the hyperdrive plans that I have.
Finally
have time for it.
Yeah.
Somebody wasn't around to break my ship.
All right. I think let's add a clock here. Upgrade hyperdrive. Upgrade to experimental hyperdrive.
Yeah.
How many segments is this? I think this feels like an 8-segment clock to me. This feels like an 8-segment clock to me.
No.
What are you doing?
Here's we'll just start studying the plans.
Okay.
And getting ready to retrofit our engine.
Yeah. It sounds like oh god, it's not naming it. That's very annoying. You just roll an action, right? So I think what do you think that is?
Probably rig. Or
The rig
study?
sounds to me.
No, rig
or
good.
study, either one.
I'll do rig. Uh, 5.
Okay, so that is going to be 2 plus your extra 1 for working on a clock with rig. So 3 total.
Cool. I will do that again.
Okay.
Wait, no, I won't. I need the extra action. Never mind.
Okay. Anyone else want to do anything on Amarith?
Yeah. I'm curious whether, given what we know about Amarith or given what we can see as we kind of walk around where we've landed,
okay,
like where I might find a wise or knowledgeable person, someone who knows ancient things like why the Hantu Gate closed.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
I think initially I'm tracking with Praxis and know that he's going to go and train in the way. And then when he doesn't come out of his like training for a while,
what could he be doing? What is taking so long?
I eventually just decide that it's probably okay and that I go off on my own for a bit.
This is like one of a long string of times that Graves has gone with Praxis to some sort of activity, and Praxis goes into a room with a woman and just doesn't come out for an inordinate amount of time.
Man. But you know, I'm still feeling like I do my duty, check in on my buddies. And
you are hunting around and you find another mendicant. They're in a vast library. Like all the platforms in this are like sort of like raised above the tree level. So like from here you're like above and can see things. And so this library is sort of open to like the wide air and space. And sitting at a desk in like the middle of this library is a person, and they see you coming and they go, yes, welcome to the Mendicants library. My name is Cambry. How can I help you?
Are you one of the wise ones or an assistant?
I am the head librarian here, as well as making sure that the oral history of the Mendicants is preserved. Is there a question that you have, or
anything on the Hantu Gate?
Hantu Gate.
And why it closed?
Oh, I closed. That's a question that has been asked by scientists for generations and decades. Perhaps. Let me see. I'm not entirely sure. Well, actually, there might be. Here is our section on all of the books on the Hantu Gate. And he like puts on a little piece of paper. They put on a little piece of paper, like the section where everything on jump gates is, and then as well as like specifically, like you might find some books on the Hantu Gate here. This is just generally jump gates in general and jump gate technology, but you might find something there.
I have to read all of this.
Well, yes, that is how research works.
Do you have any research peons? I can pay.
Well, I don't think they'll appreciate being called peons.
I will call them what you call them. What are they called?
They are called people who believe that finding knowledge on your own is more beneficial than forcing someone else to do it.
That's long. Peons will have to do.
You have your directions. If you need any assistance, you know where to find us.
Right. So the peons are over there. He just points in another section of the library where there's two people reading books.
They're just like regular people too. Like they're just like mendicants.
Graves just goes over and like intimidates them into helping him comb through these books faster.
Wonderful. It sounds
just adding flavor to the role.
Yeah, for sure. No. What action do you think you're doing to spend more on this long-term project?
Let's see. I mean, I could pick any flavor here. Let me go look at. I'm thinking about study. I'm thinking about command as it relates to the peons. That's fun.
That's fun too.
I'll go command. I'll use that pip.
Yeah.
Because I've enjoyed the books that Praxis has given me, but that doesn't mean I want to read everything all the time here. And possibly very boring literature.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I think command is the best. And so I'll take the 1 die for that. What else am I adding to this? Let me see.
That is it.
Oh, when you advance a project, you just roll an action. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So there's no position or effect for this.
Nope. Just depends on your roll.
All right. Let's see what we get. Come on, peons, do me some good. It's gonna slow cooking here. All right. Okay. I rolled a 2, so on a 1 to 3, I get 1 segment of my clock.
So you find a few books. You force these 2 like visitors essentially to the Mendicant Temple to like read these books as well too. And you don't find too much more that you don't know. It does. It seems like that the Hantu gate closed very suddenly, as though somebody somehow turned it off.
Okay.
But other than that, not a whole lot else. And that's, again, those are basically just conjectures. Like, there's nothing like, this is exactly why. It's just research.
Yeah, like I'm starting to see maybe a little pattern in, like, not quite consensus, but like some scholars have suggested this type of a deal.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yep. Hey, I'll take the progress. Did you mark that segment for me?
I did, yes.
Thank you. I'm at 3 out of 8. All right. Hey, progress is progress, man. You got to do it. The other thing I'd love to do while we're on this planet is that I've actually heard about a former pro athlete who became a prize pit fighter. And they're listed as being on Amarath, and I would love to blow off some steam and go fight them.
Who is this person?
Yeah,
heard you were good at fighting.
Yeah, I mean that's all it takes, man. Under notables for the planet Amarath, there's someone named Ara Blaze. It says that she has she's become a preeminent pit fighter in underground foot clubs. She's tried every performance enhancing drug offered to her, and it has changed her.
Look at you looking at the rule book.
Whoop.
What a guy.
Oh, this is so fun. So you're like asking around, and some of the Mendicates are like pointing you to like one of the sections where they're like treating people essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And you get pointed in the direction of Ara Blaze, and you sort of like knock on the door, and you just hear, "Come in," and the door slides open.
Someone who talks like me. I open the door.
And suspended in like gears and like mechanical servos is a woman. You can see clearly like augmented. All of her limbs are mechanical. She's got like an eye that like kind of zooms out to look at you as you walk in.
Oh, that's cool.
Totally bald. You see she just goes, "Give me a second," and the gears continue to whirl. It looks as though they're like pulling pieces apart, putting stuff in, putting like her limbs back together, and then she falls down onto the ground in like a superhero pose, stands up and goes, "You're pretty big."
I need a tune-up too.
I don't quite. You're not. I don't see any mechanics. You have any augmentations?
No. Just need to blow off some steam. I hear you fight.
I haven't fought in a really long time. Huh.
Graves looks up and sees, I would like to imagine, correct, just call me out if you want to change this, Justin, but I think I see a few like trophies along like the wall.
Absolutely you do. Absolutely you do. Tons of trophies. She follows your eyes looking at them. Oh, yeah.
And then a cute little kid interrupts them, but they both patiently wait.
She follows your eyes looking at the trophies and goes, "Oh, so you've heard about me?
Yes.
What did you hear about me?"
That you're the one to fight on this planet. Because I haven't lost anywhere else.
Uh-huh. Where have you fought? The gladiator pits on Shemaya?
Oh, I don't think I have. Let me pull up my map. This is a great question. I fought on Nightfall, and then a lot on Warren.
Okay.
A couple other moons, but not Shemaya.
Moons don't matter. What's your name?
Graves.
Graves. Oh, it's a good name. It's a good fighting name. I'm assuming because you put... Oh, it was unintended. I just assumed it was you put people in their graves. No? You just happen to be named that?
I killed someone with that name and took it for myself.
Who the fuck are you? Where have you been?
Prison. Until recently.
Oh my god, this just keeps getting better and better.
So are you in shape?
I'm always in shape. I'm a little addled from the years of fighting. I wouldn't say I'm in my top. But if you just want to go around... Yeah.
I'll buy you a drink, whether you win or lose.
Well, now you've got a friend in our Blaze. And she leads you out to, there is like a fighting ring connected to her little house here on Amarith. Why don't you, I'm assuming you're just indulging your vice?
I am.
Yeah.
I also just want to, if I beat her, eat one of her trophies.
All right, I think you're just rolling one dice.
Is that right? Is it just one?
Yes, it's your lowest attribute. So Insight only has one dice, Resolve only has one dice.
Alrighty. Let's get de-stressed. Lucky 2, baby. 2s all day.
Me too. So 2 stress. I'll also throw this out there. Tell me what you think about this. You have never, in your entire life of this podcast, talked to Yazoo, the crooked cop. Which is fine. That's not me saying you have to talk to him. But it's saying maybe somebody like our Blaze might be a better contact for Graves to get jobs and talk to things about than Yazoo.
Huh. If I try, like, mechanically, is there any reason why bumping one in would bump the other out?
No, we would just
replace. I just kind of fictionally expand my Rolodex.
Yeah, we can totally do that. I'm just trying. Yeah, I think it totally makes sense just fictionally.
I did talk to Yazoo in the recordings that we never were able to keep.
The secret recordings. I know. The
alternate universe.
The secret recordings.
None of that happened.
Yes.
I almost finished this clock in those recordings, and then I just never got back to it.
Yes. If you want to, I think that would make sense.
I think it'd be cool to add her as a contact. Yeah.
It would be your friend. It'd be replacing Yazoo with
as friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
After your fight, I would say that like it actually is pretty, and this might even be more important to Graves. Like it's pretty like even.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one really has the upper hand.
Yeah.
There are moments where you've got it, and then moments where she comes back and takes it, and then eventually you guys are just fighting for a while, and she kind of holds up her hand and like leans down on her knees. You can almost hear like the creaking of the metal when she does that. She goes, "No, enough. I need a break.
Sure?
I need a break. I told you I'm not."
If you yield, I'm gonna eat one of the trophies. Starting
what?
Smallest to biggest.
What?
One per loss.
He's just really hungry.
Fine. Eat a trophy. You are fucking weird, and I love it. I need a break though. I need a break.
He picks her up. You're the best. I claps her on the back, and then he goes and eats a small trophy from the wall.
You come back. She's kind of just like sitting on a bench, like catching her breath. Sorry, all the years of fighting has kind of taken its toll, but I have not had that much fun in a long time. You have to come back. Come back, please.
I will.
Oh my god.
Things are cooking too much in the other system anyway. And besides, I didn't get to punch anybody on my last gig. I should just punch Mordecai.
That left hook you just had was enough punching for... That was incredible. Where did you learn that? Huh.
For my people.
I didn't mean to pry. You're a Ramden, right?
Yes. You know our true name, not Steelhorns.
Well, I've fought one of you in the ring before, and one of the most impressive fighters I've ever come across. So, a lot of respect.
I'm sure.
I've only met the one though, so I'm sorry. Now two, I guess. Sorry for what I know has happened to your people.
He just nods and then keeps chewing on the trophy.
If you ever need anything, I'm happy to work with you. Sometimes, as a former champion pit fighter, tons of things come my way. Can't. She like points down to how like white she is just sitting on the bench. I can't do anything about it, but maybe
I'll remember that.
Pass things along to you.
Thanks, Aura.
All right.
Awesome. That's all I've got.
Incredible. Does anyone want to recover while you're here? I think that might be the last thing that we deal with.
I think Mordecai definitely wants to recover.
Makes sense. That makes sense. Is it just you? Anyone else want to recover?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Just Dr. Mordecai.
No need.
Yeah. So Dr. Mordecai will make his way to the mendicants because he's heard that they're pretty well versed in their healing skills.
Yeah. Give me that roll. You are going to be rolling crew quality -1, which would be 0 dice. But here on Amaranth, you get an extra dice for recovering. So you're rolling 1 dice. But that's better than 2 and taking a lower.
I might as well just roll with my doctor ability.
You could doctor yourself, it's true.
Yeah.
Let me see.
But I like the fiction of going to.
I'll tell you what. I'll still let you have that extra die because all it says is take 1 die when you recover in their care. I don't see anything that says that it like you can't treat yourself. I do think Yeah, so when you treat yourself, it costs an extra stress to do so. So you got to mark 1 stress to treat yourself.
Fine. I'll go to 8 stress. It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah. So I think you know they say that you never want to doctor a doctor.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he does. He goes, actually, if I think this would be a much better way off. You might miss a vein. Actually, here. And I don't think the mendicants appreciate it, but I will roll the 3 dice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's going to be a 3.
Is your highest?
Yes.
Oh,
Rough.
my goodness. Sorry,
yeah.
buddy.
Well, I guess clear my level 1 blasted.
Yeah, clear the level 1 blasted and mark 1 on your healing clock.
Ouch.
Sorry,
All right.
buddy.
Oh, good. Oh, good. And I think while Mordecai is in the care of the mendicants, he's fascinated by the methods they use. I feel like it's less like like a learned, like, you know, I don't think any of them actually, you know, have a PhD, you know? Nope. And so I think he's very...
Actually, one of them actually says, like, I have 3 PhDs, actually. So your incessant demanding is very frustrating.
Well, I have 4 PhDs outright.
That's not true. I know you don't.
Jesus. I wish Google weren't a thing. But no, he's very fascinated by it. And I think while he's in their care, he'll like ask some questions about it, like about their methods, and just try his best to, like, you know, understand that and just learn more, because it's, you know, it's the medical field regardless, and he wants to expand his knowledge as much as he can.
So the way that they heal is not like, it's very mystical. They're like feeling where things are wrong.
The way
they're exactly, they're like reaching out in ways that Dr. Mordecai doesn't. They're essentially like, it's like almost like, it's a bad analogy, but like chi. Like they're like, oh, there's a blockage here in this area, and you would never be like, oh yeah, like I need to like do something in the armpit to like heal a broken arm. But like it works there. Johnny just joked that Mordecai has a PhD and doesn't have an MD. That's very funny.
It explains all, right?
It explains so much.
Purely theoretical knowledge of biology.
Oh, that's funny.
He's just a bioethicist, not even like.
I can tell you a lot about whether I think this is right or wrong, morally speaking, as a surgical procedure.
Have I done the procedure? No, I have not done the procedure.
No, I have not.
Blood scared. Blood scared.
I am terrified of blood.
I've sat on plenty of morbidity and mortality boards to decide if doctors get to keep their MDs, but I haven't done any procedures.
So, yeah, I think that I would just love. That's not me saying you can't mark whatever medicine falls under, but it's me saying, like, how does he make that jump from like the mystical part of it to applying it to his like physical doctoring practices?
I mean, maybe it's not even about further expanding his doctoring practices. Like, I'd also be down to mark in Resolve tunes in and just start,
for sure,
you know.
That's I think you definitely could. That was me saying, like, either way you could mark it. I think a tune or Resolve definitely makes a ton of sense. And Insight, you would have to, you know, maybe tell me like how he bridges that knowledge gap.
Yeah, I think it's more about just like expanding his knowledge in general.
His knowledge,
as well,
in general. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I think then maybe if you want to mark Resolve, I think that makes a lot of sense.
All right. Heckles,
Heckles, yeah. Does anyone want to do anything on Amaranth? Otherwise, I have the final scene that will end it up, and you'll have to deal with that at the start of the next episode. Wonderful. Are you going back? where are you going after you leave Amarith? Go back to Warren, go into Nightfall.
I think we've got to go back to the space junkyard, right? Take Slicer.
Yeah,
to drop off our
Slice
buddy.
them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, that's a great place for this to happen as well too.
Oh, good.
When you get to Slice's junkyard, from the distance you can see the lights are off, except that there is a ship there as well too.
Oh no.
You pull up, and it is an unmarked ship. And when you get off, hang on, downtime activities. I just want to read the wording of this again. Okay, yeah. It's an unmarked black ship. And when you get off, what was the name of his Urbot? Did we name it? I don't remember what his name was.
It did have a name. I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember either, and I should have looked it up. I'm a bad GM.
CCP, no.
Bad GM. Bad GM.
His Urbot.
His
Urbot.
His Urbot is there, and you can see that he's talking to what look to be like two men in suits. And when you get out, they're like, good, perfect. You're here. In fact, actually, just who we were looking for. We had a feeling you'd come back here. The Starsmiths Guild pointed us in your direction. It seems as though one of your friends has taken something from the Starsmiths Guild. That's not us saying that we're going to take it. It's just a fact. However, they are going to have to get some repercussions for that. So they have asked us to take your hyperdrive. That is owned by the Starsmiths Guild. They have hired our collections agency to take that. So
Right.
collectors is the entanglement. You can pay 2 cred. You can give them the component that they asked for. Or you can make them leave another way. And I think I'll let you guys sit on what you want to do and figure it out next week.
We actually have to wait a week this time. That's insane.
We do have to wait a week.
The
We will be
reborn
live.
have to wait.
game.
We'll have to be live again next Sunday. We'll do another episode, and then the week after that, we'll do 2 episodes again on a Sunday. Wonderful.
As
That
we
was fun. That could have gone so bad. It could have gone so bad. I want to do an alternate, I've always wanted to do alternate reality episodes where we go back to an episode and see what would have happened if you had rolled a 1 there, and then just see how the consequences spin out of that.
Like the dice episode in Community.
Exactly. Imagine that you rolled a 1 or a 3 and you still land on Amarith, but the ship's in half, and half of you are on one side of the planet and the other half on the other side. Oh my god, that would have been so fucking cool.
Mm.
It would have been so upsetting.
It would have been so upsetting, but it would have been such good drama. All right.
Hey, we still got our drama.
Me too.
I
Thank
took
you.
every devil's bargain you offered me. Come on.
It's true. Thank you so much for listening to this, for supporting us. If you're interested in supporting us directly, you can do so in a couple really easy ways. One is going to patreon.com/Dustfire Media. We have a Patreon there. We have a Patreon exclusive show. It's a ton of fun. We're playing the Forge we're playing Trophy right now. We play 2 or 3 games every year. It's a blast. You can also really support us by following us on social media, Dustfire Media on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I don't know. Anywhere you got social media, follow us on that. And then you can also, it would really help us out to have 5-star reviews. The more reviews we have, the more people see our show and then are like, hey, this seems like a good show. So if you have it, please give us a review on your podcatcher of choice. That really helps us a lot. And follow us on Twitch as well. Anything else? Any other shout outs?
No, that's good.
These are incredible people, and my week is always made when I get to hang out with them. So
Yes.
thank you all for playing with me. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye.
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 That's it.